Let's make this unmistakably clear. Reaction is weakness. Pause is power. The faster you react, the more power you give away. Say it again. The faster you react, the more power you give away. Most people think reacting quickly makes them strong, decisive, assertive, confident. It doesn't. It makes them predictable, and predictable people are easy to control. Anytime you react immediately, you are allowing something outside of you to dictate your behavior. A comment, a look, a message, a tone of voice. You didn't choose the action, you were triggered into it. You have a choice, always, but reaction skips the choice. Reaction is automatic. Discipline is deliberate. That's the difference. Look at arguments. Most arguments are not about truth, they are about speed. One person reacts, the other reacts faster. Voices rise, words sharpen, logic disappears, and suddenly the goal is no longer resolution, it's dominance. But the person who loses control first loses leverage. The one who pauses wins. Not because they are passive, but because they are in control. The faster you react, the more power you give away. Think about social media. A comment appears, critical, disrespectful, wrong. Your fingers itch, your chest tightens, your ego demands a response. And you give it. You type fast, you post fast, you react fast. And what did you gain? Nothing. But you gave them something priceless, your attention, your energy, your emotional state. You don't need their permission to stay silent. You don't need their permission to disengage. You don't need their permission to keep your power. That's the key. Silence after provocation is not weakness, it's restraint, and restraint is dominance. Now look at the workplace. A manager criticizes you publicly. A colleague undermines you. An email feels disrespectful. The emotional reaction rises immediately. Anger says, defend yourself now. Fear says, fix this immediately. Ego says, respond so they know who you are. And if you react, you lose. You send the emotional email. You speak before thinking. You show exactly where you are sensitive. And now, they know how to control you. The faster you react, the more power you give away. Power is not loud. Power is not fast. Power is controlled. Here is the truth most people avoid. If someone can trigger an immediate reaction from you, they own you in that moment. That's uncomfortable, but it's real. So discipline begins with delay, not suppression. Delay. You feel the reaction, you do not act on it. You pause. That pause can be 3 seconds. It can be 1 breath. It can be an hour. It can be a day. The length doesn't matter. The interruption does. That interruption puts you back in charge. You have a choice. Here's a practical rule you will start using immediately. Never respond emotionally in real time. Not to messages, not to criticism, not to disrespect. Real-time reaction is almost always emotional, and emotional responses are almost always sloppy. Instead, create a delay. Say nothing, do nothing, breathe. Ask yourself one question. What response preserves my power? Not what feels good, not what proves a point, not what defends ego. What preserves power? It's not about confidence, it's about discipline. It's not about winning the moment, it's about winning control. That's the key. Most people are addicted to immediacy. They want relief now, validation now, resolution now. Discipline delays gratification, and delayed gratification builds authority. Think of the calm person in a heated room. Everyone else is reacting, talking, explaining, defending. That calm person says little, moves slowly, listens. Who do people watch? Who do people respect? Calm commands attention. Reaction repels it. The fastest talker rarely holds the most power. The quietest one often does. You don't need to match energy. You don't need to mirror aggression. You don't need to prove strength through speed. That's ego, and ego leaks power. The faster you react, the more power you give away. So let's train a new behavior. When you feel the urge to react, do this. Pause your body. Relax your jaw. Lower your shoulders. Slow your breathing. Then repeat internally. Pause equals control. Say it again. Pause equals control. That phrase rewires your response pattern. You are not weak for waiting. You are strategic. And strategy always beats impulse. This is not about being emotionless. It's about being intentional. You still act. You still respond. But you respond on your terms. That's power. And power compounds. The more you pause, the less reactive you become. The less reactive you become, the calmer you feel. The calmer you feel, the clearer you think. And clarity creates better outcomes every time. Most people never experience this because they never slow down long enough to access it. They live in reaction. They die in regret. You're choosing differently. You're training restraint. You're reclaiming control. You are no longer giving your power away to moments that don't deserve it. You have a choice, and now you know how to use it. You've learned that emotions are signals, not commands. You've learned that reaction is weakness and pause is power. Now it's time to sharpen that power into something even stronger, because control is not just defensive, it's offensive. You've stopped reacting. Now let's talk about what happens when calm becomes your weapon.